leading the introduction of augmented reality to the West Coast University Anatomy Labs, for which he's very thrilled. Please give him a round of applause. We do have, is Dr. Gamo in the house?
In the house.
Sir. Dr. Gamo is also presenting with this. Dr. Gamo is the Associate Professor at West Coast University, Los Angeles North Hollywood campus. He's taught human anatomy, physiology, and pathophysiology, microbiology for the past 10 years. Moreover, he teaches gross anatomy in David Geffen School of Medicine at UCLA, where he's an adjunct assistant professor. Dr. Gamo graduated from the University of Philippine College of Medicine and finished his residency training in physical medicine and rehabilitation at the Philippine General Hospital. He's an active member of both the American Association of Anatomists and the American Association of Clinical Anatomists. Dr. Gamo is highly passionate in teaching his students in order for them to acquire and apply the necessary knowledge, developing critical thinking skills and attitude, and be successful in their fields of endeavor, be it nursing or medicine. He uses various teaching methods and strategies with emphasis on active and collaborative learning. At present, he utilizes a specific form of student engagement technique in effective teaching and learning anatomy through augmented reality. Thank you so much, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'll be starting the original presentation. The way that we set up for this 1 hour to be with each other, at the beginning we have a brief introduction about what this technology is and why we have it in the West Coast University. And Dr. Gamo is going to provide some of the results that we got so far from this. We've been doing the piloting this program in LA campus for 3 terms. So we have got some very positive, basically, results out of it. So he's going to share with that with you. But to begin with, maybe just the idea like why we went through that direction, why we are adapting the augmented reality, what it is, and what we are planning to do with it. We had a very brief presentation in the morning about the different type of artificial reality, why we are using them. Very simple to the point is the real reality is not enough to teach the students. Literally, what we have here as the one we touch it, we hear, we measure it, that's what we call a real reality that's we are in. We just realized that's not enough because many advancement in the medicine and in the science is coming from the imaginations that we have. That is not touchable, that is not, you cannot use your senses to hear it. And the technology nowadays being advanced to the point that we can visualize the imagination. So you think about something and we just have the computerized system, we can kind of design it and kind of bring to the view. And that is the time that actually the virtual reality comes to the picture, that we have something in mind and we visualize it using the special goggles and we go with it. So in this regard, that was one of the things that we had in mind for anatomy courses. In anatomy, yes, it is very, tactile. You're going to touch it, you're going to learn it. But again, there are some aspects that you cannot literally see, and especially imagine, for example, if you want to see the basal nuclei in the brain, is a challenge, opening it, finding it, and kind of just touching. But with this technology, we can go to the creases and all the folds and the hidden areas of the body, go inside, come out without like a lot of issues that we are having with the other materials such as cadaver and the models. So that was one thing we had in mind. The other thing is we are teaching human anatomy, but mostly in our lab we are using sheep's organ and the pigs, like a fetal pig. So that was a human anatomy, but working on animals and the models. And so the component of the human was missing. So we're looking for some alternative to just have a human there. What are the alternatives? Number one, maybe the best one is a cadaver. But like all the challenges come with it, the legality, the smell, the area that you need to keep it, and the limited access to it. I mean, if I have for example, 25 students at once, I want to show them, so they can be all right over each other and kind of be hard to show the detail in there. So there was other options such as we had the digital human cadaver. You know, if you may, like we had the table, and you can just kind of digitally go through and kind of see the structures. But the challenge that we had for that was one is the space, because you have to have again a table takes place, and number two, it could be like pretty much limited to the lab area. We wanted to unleash this power. We wanted to have the anatomy, the human anatomy, not dealing with this legality and the challenges of the whole, keeping this material, and plus take the anatomy out of the classroom and out of the lab. So if the students, they want to practice during their free time, they can access to it and do it. So that was one of the major reasons actually we were directed toward the computerized based learning, and on top of it, the augmented reality that currently we are piloting in Los Angeles campus. But what are we planning for current time, and what is the plan for future? The current time, it is augmented reality is another alternative or modality we are using for the lab. Beside the microscope and the slides and the pig and the models that we are using, this is another modality we have it there. But more importantly, we would like to go in this direction because this technology giving us the power to use it for the other courses as well, such as for physiology and pathophysiology. And recently there was a kind of a seminar that they are currently using it for the mathematics and the chemistry as well. So it is very versatile. I usually resemble it to the cell phone. Like we have the technology of the cell phone. We just add apps to it and we kind of unleash the power. So we have the technology of augmented reality, and we just add the physiology, pathophysiology, chemistry, and we expand it. To me, at the original time when we adopted it, my plan was making sure we have a system that the students term after term after term, they can be in touch with it, they can work with it, and keep the anatomical information updated and current. So when they come to the pathophysiology and we talk about, let's say, the heart diseases or the respiratory disorders, that they are having a lot of anatomy, anatomical knowledge behind it, I can just connect students as they go through the physiology and the chemistry and the micro, they keep practicing and practicing, so they are knowledgeable about it. And if I want to refresh it, I just send them to the library, the devices there, just go to the cardiovascular system, review it for the next week when you're coming for the cardiovascular disease. In a simple word, my goal, or like our goal actually in this case, that was improving the retention of the information by having a device that immerses the students in that basically aspect, and they can learn better, they can retain it for much longer time, and of course use it in the real case scenario. Besides the fact that of course now it is a pretty much cutting edge technology, but maybe 10 years from now that could be something in the field of nursing and the medicine could be widely used. Even though currently we have the augmented reality in the real time use for the patients, that they can just look at the patient's head basically. Of course, the technology is a little bit different. You have to have some sort of radiation to send it inside and get the signal back and imagine the view for yourself. But with that technology, it's not going to be odd like when you're doing the brain surgery. Before you put the knife on the patient, you put the goggles on, you go inside, you locate the tumor. You can just exactly measure in what axis, how many millimeters I have to go to the right, to the left. That is where exactly the tumor is, and we can make a very precision medicine and the treatment at the time. So our nursing 5, 10 years from now, that I'm expecting to be one of the tools that they should know. It's not a good to know. So that is a very briefly why we adopted the augmented reality and what we are having in mind. As I mentioned, just improving the retention and introducing this technology for future use in the field of nursing and all healthcare related matters, including the dental hygiene and other courses that we're offering here. So at this point, I'll be asking Dr. Gamo. He's going to give you some information about what we did so far in the lab and some of the outcomes we got from this technology.
How many of you watched Star Wars? Very good. I did too. I was 16 years young. Never been kissed, never been touched. Very young, okay? So, if you watch Star Wars,
Let's see together. Now let's see if we can't figure out what you are, my little friend. And where you come from.
there you go.
I saw part of the message you... I see. Pardon?
Who's that young lady there?
Princess Leia.
Princess who?
Carrie Fisher.
Okay. Anyway, the bottom line is that, what is this? It's a hologram, right? Okay. So what exactly are we doing here? We're using this technology, as what Dr. Bakhtiari said, so that our students will what? What do we want our students to do? Learn, right? So that they can what? Retain the information much better, right? So apparently, over the weekend, I said, what did I need to do to present this to my students today? And I said, I went to Walmart, and in Walmart, what did I see? Star Wars, right? And apparently, I could not afford this because this is what? $78. Okay? But what was fascinating here was that I wanted to bring this today, but there was no, except from the J. Gamo Foundation. That's my foundation. Because West Coast, I don't think we'll spend for this. So anyway, I saw that in Bloom's learning, taxonomy learning, right? Create, invent, and I was play. How do we make our students learn? By playing. What kind of games? Video games. Like what we're about to do today, right? How many of you like to play? How many of you like to learn? Of course, all of us, right? So we play and create an environment that is conducive for learning, right? And we were young kids, we play. We are now adult kids, we still play, right? And invent, I think that's the most important thing we can do. Invent so that we can use this to learn, make our students what? Learn, right? What's our bottom line here? We want our students to what? Learn. We want our students to what? Learn. We want our students to what? Learn. Repetition is the mother of all retention. Who said that? It's me, okay. Okay, now, so, as Dr. Bakhtiari has mentioned, I'll be very quick on this. We use anatomical models. I brought some here with me. I hope you can recognize, but this is, what is this? It's not the brain, it's the heart, right? So if a patient has chest pain, heart, right? And then if you have a stroke, you have what? Brain, right? So students love models, right? Why? Because they can touch it, it's three-dimensional, they can even smell it. Smells bad, right? What organ is this? Liver and gallbladder. If you have gallstone, where will the pain be? Right upper quadrant or right upper quadrant? You know the reason why, because the liver and the gallbladder is there, right? When you become jaundice, yellowing of the skin due to high levels of bilirubin, is that involving hepatitis, involving the liver? Yes, it does, right? Anyway, before I forget, I almost forget, Star Wars, when was it first created and shown to the public? What year? If you get the right answer, you have a prize. 77. Who said 77? We have a winner here. 77. That was the year I graduated from high school in the Philippines. High school. I was still 16 then, remember? Never been kissed, never been touched, okay? So, congratulations. That's worth, I think, $5 million, right? It's a collectible item from Walgreens. Again, I was lucky, I went to Walgreens. Oh my God, Star Wars. Okay, anyway, we use models. The brain, the larynx, the eye, the ear, okay? Muscular system. I'm a physical medicine guy, so I do a lot of exercising, and I teach my patients which muscles to exercise. If I want to kick the ball, I need my quadriceps muscles, okay? And then, of course, Mr. Skelly, skeleton. His name is Mr. Skelly, by the way. I don't know if it's male or female, but I don't really care. The bones, we have a real bone there. See this one here? It's a human skull, authentic, okay? And then, of course, the plastic model that we have there. We use this to make our students learn what? Anatomy, right? Because that's the foundation of nursing, and at UCLA, that's the foundation of medicine, right? We don't want our medical students to do a surgery on you and you don't even know their anatomy, right? So we dissect, instead of dissecting the cadaver, that's what Dr. B mentioned, we dissect what? Sheep's brain, sheep's eye, and cow's eye. At the same time, the pig, right? The piglet, actually. So we have there the heart, piglet, the brain. That's the. Can anybody tell me what it is? The cerebellum for what? Balance and coordination, right? Okay. So essentially, we use this. We have the teaching tools there, and then we use our anatomy books for lecture and lab. And then, of course, the lab will help us have these manuals here. Very, very informative, very colorful at that. Okay, they're very expensive though. They're $200 each. Okay, and that guy, I don't know what's his name, but he's doing a selfie with the students. I presume they're dissecting the heart now. And then, of course, we're doing heart dissection. So let me see if it will show, but very briefly, let me just. There we go. So that's me trying to.
Okay, so we're going to dissect the human heart.
We're gonna dissect the human heart, right? So, not the human heart, the pig's heart. Thinking of UCLA. So these are the students doing the dissection. They're all smiling, they're all laughing because and hopefully they're using face shields. We use gloves, right? And this was taken in our cadaver, our big room, not cadaver room, at room 204, and that's it. And then, of course. The objective here is that we moved on to augmented reality. So I'm just going to show you, these are the students doing the augmented reality. So we normally start at 10. We have our 7 to 8, we have a quiz, and 8 to 9 with the lecture, and then from there, we have the 10 to 11 augmented reality sessions. We start with logging in into the device, and then later on we give them a pre-test, and then followed by an actual lecture on the topic. For today, for example, to be the cardiovascular system. Next week would be about digestive system, right? Okay. So these are the students in our room 214. It's a big room. Okay. And after they're done, we get the results of the pre-test and post-test. We record them. We use Medivis. I'd like to recognize Sigar and Adam over there. Thank you, Sigar and Adam. Without them, we won't be able to do this stuff. Okay. And I have here a very quick. Just increase volume. I think I got this from World War II. It's all cheap at Walmart, that's right. Okay, this is just to show you what we have done so far. What is the bone at the back here? It's the bone at the back. It's not backbone, right?
This is called
But here it's called frontal bone.
occipital bone. Can you see the occipital bone?
See the hologram there?
How do you spell occipital
That's the hologram. So what I see on my HoloLens, I can see and project it to them. It's amazing, right? Technology, what technology can do. Right? And then you can go around. It's really what? Engagement, right? Let them go around.
For what function?
Sensory.
Pinch me, pinch me.
So pinch me, I told this to okay, pinch me, pinch me. Okay, go ahead. Okay, go to the parietal lobe of the brain,
Go
right?
to the back again. What's the name of the bone at the back, please? And what is the lobe of the brain in the occipital bone? Very good. Does it protect? What is the function of the occipital
So
bone? my dear
as you
students?
go around, you can actually keep them,
Visual cortex,
give lectures to
visual
them.
sense of sight.
And you notice every time you move the HoloLens, it identifies the hologram's structure.
How
Like
many
this one here,
vertebrae do we have?
occipital bone, frontal bone, right?
Okay. Look at
And
me.
then
If you move your
parietal
neck
bone,
forward and
frontal bone.
backwards, you're moving your neck from like this. Like yes or no, right? No, it's this way.
So you have the professor could be in the middle of the room,
Okay.
right? And
So we have C1,
everybody is
C7,
involved,
what's the
actively
name of
involved.
C1 class? And what's the name of C2? Very good. Okay. Now in front, what is the name of the
Now there's the professor.
breastbone? Sternum.
Okay, that's it. So
Equilibrium, the body.
So as I have said, this is a technology that we're using to make the students learn more, okay? But of course, some people like it, some don't, and I will go into that. So this is just to show you the results of what Dr. Bakhtiari has gathered for our students. These are the average augmented reality tests. So there is a built-in test into the system, both pre-test and post-test. And apparently, we're happy to see that scores are quite high. This is different lab. Lab 1, taught by Dr. Bakhtiari in Spring 2. Lab 3 is my class, the one that's in this color here. And then, of course, you can see the comparison. Every week we have different systems, like cardiovascular system, muscular. The first week usually skeletal, then muscular, and then the nervous system, the brain, cardiovascular, the nervous system. We had a midterm exam. And of course, this is just a average of paper test. Now, we give a paper test. This paper test is essentially pictures taken from the Martini textbook where they need to identify, and it's a multiple choice type of questions. So this is what we used to do before, and basically that's what's happening now. Paper tests are Scantron tests, wherein we have pictures from the Martini textbook, and then A, what is A? Corpus callosum. What is C, for example? Cerebellum, right? So that is what we have there. And then, of course, this is just the average. So for the students to do this, we have to give them what? What is it that we need to give them? Incentive. Great. So we told them, for you, you have to do your best here because this is going to be graded, right? We combined both the written test and the AR test results, and these are the results, as you can see here, different weeks, different systems, right? Okay, this is just Lab 1 and Lab 3, which is Spring 2. Dr. Bakhtiari started in Spring 1 with one class. In Spring 2, Dr. Bakhtiari and myself, and now with Spring 3, summertime, can we recognize Dr. Anita Mort? Can you give her a big round of applause, please? Yes. So, Dr. Anita Mort, myself, and Dr. Bakhtiari are doing the summer program with augmented reality. Again, weekly paper test. This is the class that did not use augmented reality. These are the results of their purely paper test. They're ranging from 80 to 90% without augmented reality. So during the Spring 2, there were 2 sections that did not have AR, and these were the paper test only. Okay. Again, midterm grades, comparison between Lab 1 and Lab 3, more or less. Now, I don't have to deal with this in too much time, but just suffice to say that these are the comments of the students among AR models, pig dissection. Which one do you prefer? Which one do you think is more effective? Some would say pig dissection. I think you know the reason why, because they're hands-on. They touch the pig, they smell the pig, they are able to recognize the organs, right? They love the pig, right? So some would say put both pig dissection and AR, both AR, multi-views, blah, blah, blah. But the bottom line is that some also like models. Now, we have a lot of this survey from Spring 1, Spring 2, Spring 3, up to summer, and essentially they have the same comments, right? Some would like models, some would like augmented reality, some would like all 3 of them, right? So we're doing all best to do all 3 of them. Describe your experience with AR. I have car sickness and made me hurt, my head hurt and made me nauseous. It's expected, right? So we have to come up with ways to help them. Help me with my Signature 7, good and helpful. I do not like the HoloLens, or they're very, these millennials, they're very blunt and directly, I don't like this, okay. And you can see their facial expressions. All I do is smile, okay. It can help you. And then Hol is too heavy, oh my God, it's not even really heavy, but And again, this is the very important question number 4. What suggestion do you have to improve incorporation of AR? Redesign the goggles maybe, keep the picture focus, and all these things. So we are in the process with the help of Sigar and Adam and Dr. Bakhtiari and Dr. Anita Mort. We're trying to do whatever we can to help them have a better experience with AR. Okay. Now these are just the results of the, as gathered by Dr. B again, or Dr. Bakhtiari. Let's see, instructions on how to use the HoloLens. Some of them said, I strongly agree, 56 to 34%. Everything here is 0% except the last one. Overall satisfaction with augmented reality, majority of them around 77.9%. Love AR, disagree 17 plus 4 is around 21.7%. Do not like HoloLens and AR, okay? Okay, that's it. So the amazing thing here is that we're doing everything to be able to help our students learn, and with the use of AR and with the use of whatever models we have, pig dissection, our ultimate goal is to maximize learning, as emphasized by Dr. Bakhtiari, for them to retain the information. When they come to us for pathophysiology, some of them forget. And I tell them the foundation of nursing, and Dr. Khan knows this, anatomy is basically the foundation of nursing. If a patient comes to the emergency room and going like this, are you going to ask him, are you having headache, sir? Of course not, because why? What is found here? The heart. So are you suffering from definitely what? An MI. And what is MI? Myocardial infarction. Myo, muscle. Cardial means heart. Infarction means tissue death because there is no blood flow where? In the coronary arteries. So we use models, we use AR, but the bottom line is that we want them to maximize their learning. Thank you.
Do you have to use those glasses for augmented reality?
Yes, actually, this is one of the addition to our lab. So what we're gonna do, we planned it out, so you guys can have an experience with it. So we have the HoloLenses available. So what we do is the students, they are wearing it. We are in the development of this technology, and every term we are adding some features to it. We customize it. The bottom line is we want to just move this toward the fact that when the students, they come to the lab, instead of just using as another modality of teaching, we'll be using it as, I ask the questions from the students, and the students be using these HoloLenses, they should be able to answer it. Like, for example, I'll be asking the students for the skeletal system. There is a worker works, let's say in the Home Depot, for example, it's like and an object is falling and it is hurting the patient's like a left shoulder, right shoulder. And the patient is not able to do these activities. So based on, you should wear these, HoloLenses. You have to focus on 3 things that is disabling the patient. So that would be the bones, maybe the muscles, maybe the nerves are damaged. So in the area that, for example, the object is fallen, so what structures they are there, what bones they might be damaged, what muscles are at risk, and what nerves. And if that is the case, what is your, of course, they are anatomy students. We are not expecting like a fully, like a medical treatment and the diagnosis, but we want them to use the device because they have all the structures next to each other, and they can see them like in the vicinity of each other. So that would be more, we are trying to just use these devices down the road toward like answering the question rather than just simply identifying the structures. The good things that we have, actually, we are having copies of this in our library, so during the week, the students, they can go anytime, they can practice on their own even better. But again, we are trying kind of just get you guys get up and kind of get the practice on this. We have limited number of the HoloLenses for today, so we have about 25. So I'm assuming maybe these 3 tables you can go ahead, and we have our associates. They are here, so they're going to instruct you how to turn it on and how kind of just bring the image. They're going to show you the menus that we have there. Just a quick hands-on to see like how this device is working. And for these other 2 tables that we have here, by the time their turn is over and kind of you guys get a practice on it, I have some like a question and answer sessions that we're going to work on that with each other. So,
They go to each
Dr. Gamo, we can, right. So for these 3 tables, we have like the glasses back there. So, and
what about these ones?
Yeah, you can use this one.
Okay. All right.
There's 7 in each table, so if you all can distribute among them.
Yeah.
And the handouts, I gave it to you, that is for the voice commands. And I think for today, our associates, they are there to help you to function.
You want to help them? You want to help them?
Dr. Gordon is going to be there.
All right, so what you do is so the adjustments are like that. So there's a knob. Then push it out. That you can expand and put it down. You're going to want it right fairly hard. Leave your glasses on. Okay. So then you pull this thing out. You can see, notice you can put the back and you pull this thing out. With your glasses, pull it out, and then after that, rest it on your virtual window. You can also tilt it and hold it up. So it rests on the forehead. That's more comfortable. You do that? You do that? All right, so you do, and then what you do is once you have it, you push it back and then tighten the back of your to get firm grip. Make sure that you push it back here, okay, and then tighten it. Okay, right? Pretty good?
So what you're going to do on the left side,
There is on the left side,
button.
there is a button. Press the button.
on the outer handle, you feel there's a button.
Left side, that's a button.
Right here.
Can you see that? Now you should see an image come up. Hello, yeah. Hang on a second. Can you see? Who has problems? Raise your hands if you have problems. Okay, all right, hang on a second.
Okay, we're doing a
Yep.
HoloLens demonstration here for West Coast University, and we have 3 people doing it for the three different groups on how to use HoloLens for the use of augmented reality in anatomy.
Okay, hang on a second.
Okay, so right now they're teaching them how to turn on the device, the HoloLens device, by pressing on the power button here. Okay, and then make sure you put it there, adjust it into the size of your head or circumference.
See, who else cannot see anything? Can you see? Okay. All right, everybody's good?
Okay, what is everyone? She's not on yet.
She's not, okay.
Start menu.
Okay.
Tile settings.
All right, there are a couple of things. I'll wait for.
A couple of anyone just have a white.
Gestures you need to learn, like a click of a button. Okay, when you click your mouse, you click right. So how do you do that in the HoloLens? Is you take your hand, okay? Now, sorry, before you do that, when you look at your, you have a white dot. Look forward, you see a white dot wherever you go. Can you see the white dot? Okay, all right. So the next thing you do is, if you want to click on something, it means you this is you, that,
Yeah, it's
in this case here, you should see anatomy X. You see anatomy X, and then you, okay, look at that.
You have some lights.
I can kind of see like there's like little rainbow stripes.
What do you see? What do you see?
Pumpkin, just be like before, nothing.
You see,
Yes, but I can turn in the uninstall menu.
Now I see, I have to lift it up. Now I see.
okay.
I get unpin and uninstall also.
Yeah.
Okay, so you go to the box there. Just click on the box.
Oh wait, I missed that.
There we go.
So you
It's a loading.
hang on a second.
Now I hit skipping.
It's loading? Who is not loading yet? You're not loading yet? You're not loading
What
yet?
about who's loading?
Yeah, Metavis. Yeah, click on the Metavis. Correct.
Yeah, that load male body. Start the body in front of me.
You're good now?
I just have a button. It went to the hello. I see the.
Yeah, hang on one second. Let me get this thing going. I'll get it for you.
Mine is loading. Mine's disconnected.
Okay, no, that's fine. Then you go down. This go down.
It becomes a donut. The dot becomes a donut.
And you just pinch it.
Go to the body in front of me. Pinch it up. This side like this.
Skeleton now.
And so you know when you move your mouse.
Hang on one second.
Loading.
No, not yet. Okay, hang on one second.
Who's loading?
She's not loading yet.
All I see are two blue boxes.
Okay, use this. Skeleton bottom.
At least I see a box. Set it on. Take 14. And then it keeps going up.
I see the frontal lobe.
Skeleton.
Okay, now hang on one second. So,
Okay, you want to try this?
Prompt's telling you there's a white window. And it'll ask
Can I get help?
Yeah. What do you see there? There's a
Start body in front of you.
right. Like click on that. You put your fingers like this,
so,
and move it. It becomes a
okay, so let
donut.
me do this.
Start the male body in front of you, and then click on that like this. Click in the center of it. You put your arm like this. 2 fingers, and then the thumb and the index. Correct.
Okay, hang on one second.
So is everyone now in the anatomy?
Okay, left side.
Am I supposed to see my fingers?
No, just extend your arm like this, and then go to wherever the, you see that it's supposed to be there, right?
It says start body.
No, on top, the one that starts.
Body in front of me.
Correct, click on that, and then, what's white became blue,
I'll see a dot and then say white.
and then you put your arm like this, the dot becomes a blue.
Just click like that.
Are you sure?
You don't see anything?
See a round circle like a washer.
Yeah. Click on that.
All you need to do is just go to the, start body in front
The
of me.
body should have been
And
there.
then
Oh,
you
I see this
Oh,
one.
now there's,
the dot
Yeah,
becomes
okay.
a donut. The dot becomes a donut. And then you put your arm like this. You see that? Start the body in front of me. The dot should be there. And then you extend your arm like this. And then you click.
Okay, so just do it. Just do it. Just do it.
Yeah, and you click on that.
but with me,
One
you
click,
have
one
to put
click.
your head around.
Yes, have to be patient.
Okay.
Yeah, have patient, okay.
Why don't you take off your device?
There, it's loading, it should be loading. Oh, okay. It's okay if you don't, like, do stuff with the good experience rate. Did you see loading? 55%, 60%, 100%. You wanna try, Dr. Hakan? Yeah. So notice when you loaded there, just try to...
So hang on a second, the rest of y'all, I will come back to you in a minute. Give me a minute.
Did everybody see the...
34
Good. And then when you move
All right.
on, you can see the names, right?
Okay, so now everybody is on. Okay, so you should have on your menu, left and right, there should be two menus. Okay, can you see the two menus? Yes. Okay, on the left menu is systems. Okay, so you can see like muscular, skeletal. So what you should do is you should go to the left side and then look at muscular. Can you see muscular? And go and add tab or click.
Don't forget to click.
Yeah, go to that
You can
circle.
change it from muscular.
You see muscular?
Oh, okay, very good. And you can play around. You can change from muscle to skeleton.
Mine is
On the right.
If you want to get to the muscle, it's back again.
How do you get it to do that?
Again, take it.
Whole body on the right.
Yeah, and then it's loading. Go to that and then click on it. Step on it. The top is on the donut.
It's a donut now.
There again, click on it. It's my body in front of it.
Okay, we are able to click. Okay, now if you look at the body, you see the muscular system, right? Huh?
Then once you see
Yeah.
you can see the bone.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, no, you need to do this. You need a tap. You need a tap.
You need to clap. Click or tap.
Okay, the next thing you can do is, okay, now you have the body, right? Just walk to the body. Walk to the body and slowly. Slowly walk, slowly, yeah.
I went back. Really?
You see the body, you walk in,
What's
you can do a 360 view.
So once you put it on, when you touch with your left hand on the border, there is a possibility.
Oh wait, did you have load?
And then you should see the labels.
I see the labels.
All right?
You see the menu on the left and
You
right?
good? Yeah. All right. The next thing you do, if you all have done, everybody has done this. Okay. If you go on the right side of the menu, right side of the body, on the other side, right side, you will see a lot of things. At the third or fourth row down, you should see supine. Or can you see SUPINE? Okay. Go there and click that.
Supine?
Yeah.
Click on that chest. Start the female body in front. See the number? 10%.
Looking for my menu. Crazy, right? What do I want now?
Once you're 100%, you move to the left, there's a menu on the system. On the right, there's a different menu. Now, you're able to see it? You see the ball first? You'll be able to see the ball. See the ball? Every time you move the HoloLens, they are able to identify for you. You're able to see that? When you look at the HoloLens on the structure, it gives a name. Okay, good. Now, if you want to change the system in the left menu from skeletal, you can make it back to get rid of skeletal and noises. Everybody's good?
I'll get it for you.
Yeah. You okay? Yeah. Are you okay?
You want to see discs. You want to see a disc of 240.
I'm not sure because the disc is soft tissue. Are you talking about
Okay, the next thing you can do, you can pick any other components you can play around.
Not yet, not
Any
yet.
of the other subsystems.
Hopefully in the future.
You can move around.
You can play around, you can look to the other systems. Okay, other systems. Are you able to see everything?
Yeah, I'm good.
You're good?
Oh, fine.
Okay.
Easy. Very cool.
The other thing I did not tell you, this allows you to have voice command too. So if you say voice, it's a very difficulty. Probably all are so close to each other. If you say a voice, it will in fact read this device. That's the only thing that's better than even voice, but you can do it. You can move, you can do
Yeah, you can try that's really working.
you can do whole body, which is on the left, or you can do back, you can do leg, various regions on the left side you can select. So you can play around.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
You'll have a list. No, just the app. Yeah. If you are done, then just leave remove your device so I can get it next to you.
Did you try arterial?
Good.
On the left, there's a low skeleton bar. Squeeze it on it. And the arteries appear highlighted.
Is there a way to exit out of it?
Yeah, I'll take care of it.
Where's the device I gave you?
Very educational. Do you want to see that?
You go for an hour, you're
Yeah.
Change it from female body if you want, from male to female. Anybody who wants to try the HoloLens? We can use it for you if you haven't tried it. You want to try
Yeah,
it?
thank you. The next group, whoever wants to come in.
Anybody who wants to use the HoloLens?
Anybody else want to try?
There. You did it? Okay, good.
Okay.
Obviously, when we have more time, we can get one set.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That was sort of the whole thing. My goal was to stay living where I am living. At least take your CI, which I'm assuming.
Oh, because you loaded the body here. You have to comprehend the body.
Yeah.
You loaded a while ago or the body? Oh, you went out of the body.
And, you know, I obviously, I'm not chasing down
You were away from the body.
not and which way
You went far away. And then it's where you saw the very small pictures.
look at you as
Before you create the body,
I just scratched my head on this.
there's a little bit. $5,000 by the way. $5,000.
He said it was 50,000.
I took a
We'll do it
I don't make promises. I can set up another one. No, there's two of them. Try this.
There's new technology everywhere. Nobody's getting any more technology.
You want to make a ordinary hologram don't do this, you can do this. And you can actually go to a video on YouTube how to make a hologram with the use of this plastic made of gold bottles like this. You don't get it, you can just cut this, cut, and then it works. And then, or this one is sponsored. I got this from 99-cent store for $1. I came up with this device, and then you put this on top here, and you can see the heart moving in here, like a hologram. Very cheap. $1 for 99-cent store, and not from Walmart. And then see,
But it was
see the heart there? Okay, the heart, the beating heart. And you can actually be able to make that. And then you put this on top here. And then if it works. You need to turn on the light, I know. We have to turn on the lights. Can somebody turn off the lights?
Lights.
Lights off. You can't see it because it's... You see the heart? See the heart? Okay. This is $1. That's all you need to spend. If you buy it from me, I make it for you for $10. I'm not kidding. This is for sale right now. I can give it to you for $9 because for West Coast. I give you a $1 discount. Yeah, do you see that? See? There you go. It's a hologram. You're looking for the side. Right there, right there. See? Isn't that amazing? Okay. With technology and 99-cent store, $1 store, I can make this for you for $9. I earn $8. I can. No, I cut it. There, you sit on the side. There, look. There. You see the heart there? Beautiful heart, right? And you can actually see. Okay. You go to YouTube and then hologram heart, or let's say, let's see if I can use the self-position. You can have this. No problem. Oh, here's a Coke bottle. Coke bottle. Not Pepsi. Pepsi is in Pepsi. Inside is how much? Pepsi with an N. Protein. They get it like that. Protein digestion. And we have the light one piece. Wherever is the source of the light, let there be light. According to we'll turn off the light a while. Must be a ghost. Do you have any questions for Dr. Bakhtiari and myself? Mr. Ritchie.
Okay, why we close this session? I know that because it just was a short time to just have like take a look, see what this device is and kind of how it works. It has a lot of potentials actually. Unfortunately, we couldn't look at all the options that we have. But let me ask you some questions and get the feedback from you. The question is, if we have the real reality and we have the cadaver and the models and the thing, why do we need to have the artificial reality in our education system? So what do you get from this technology that the real reality cannot work? Close up views. Right. So what?
Maybe some kinesthetic.
That's right. I mean, literally, when it comes to these devices, and even we have a model, it's hard to get into the structure. Like even for the cadaver, the structures that if you want to get inside, it is very problematic. Once you cut them, you are cut. With this technology, I can literally walk into the structure. I can walk into the chest. We didn't get a chance to go over that, but I can walk into the hologram chest and turn around and see the muscles layers by layer. I can see, let's say, the transverse thoracic and all the layers of the muscles of the chest, and they get out without doing any harm. For example, if pretty much looks like a cartoon we used to watch. The guy goes like a troll under the bus and come out and save us without making any harm to us. And with this technology, of course, the imagination can be should be something that things might happen. Just practice it without being worried about it. We are developing this technology to then actually want to make the cross cuts through the body and protect the body in the process. Especially for the nursing students, what we have in mind is currently we are teaching systemic anatomy, which means, let's say we have a respiratory system as an entity, the cardiovascular as an entity. But in the real life, when the patient comes with the trauma to the ER, that anatomy doesn't work. What we need is a regional anatomy. That means in the broken arm, in this section, what the structure is damaged. So with this augmented reality,